11,275 pounds, brand new floor plan, the Eagle 319 MLOK here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And this is threatening to be a front runner for my own list of personal favorite couples camp and fifth wheels. I love it because it's different. It's a rear kitchen redefined. It's not the same old thing that you've seen rehashed over and over and over again. It's new, it's fresh, it feels different, it feels fun, and I absolutely love the layout inside of this thing. We'll get there in a second, but really critical detail I want to mention to you. This is actually a pre-sold camper. So the folks that bought this, they had a couple options built that maybe we wouldn't normally have on the RVs that we have here at Haylett RV. I will point out those differences as we go, but keep in mind that the one that we have in stock could be different from what you see here in this video. That being said, let's get going because there's a lot of fun stuff to see on this one. Now, like most rear kitchens, this is pretty much a destination use model. Like, you look at it and at a glance you're like, oh cool, I can get through some of the slide out at least, but if you look at it, you see that all you can do is get to the sofa and the television. You can't really get to any of the storage or the refrigerator. So for that sort of function, you are going to want to open it up and use it more as a destination use trailer rather than a traveling friendly model. I think this thing would be awesome for like seasonal or like snowbird, sunbird people who follow the weather. Something where you're going to get there, you're going to set up shop for a long time, you're going to be there. This would be awesome. And I got to tell you guys, this is one of the more refreshing things I like about this business. When you get to see something a little bit new, different, cool, a different take on the same old thing. Like I said, this is a rear kitchen redefined. It has, I mean, this is fun. This is vacation to me. This has that feel like when you go somewhere and you get that like, that really nice sort of luxury suite or condo, and you've got that sort of almost like miniature home away from home living experience. That's what this feels like. This is vacation. This is relaxation. And it is awesome. Now we're going to cover a bunch of little different details as we go through here because there is a lot to cover. First of all, the decor. This is called the modern farmhouse decor. Eagle offers two very different looking decors. This is the modern farmhouse with the very modern white tones with the antiquing accent burnishings and the very edgy modern gray furniture. There's also, if you're not into this, which I understand, some people are going to look at this and go, what the what? No! Well, no worries. Eagle still offers it in the traditional brown interior tones that everybody else does, called American Tradition. It'll give you more of a brown wood tone, more of a brown fabric tone. There you go. Everybody wins now. Whether you want new and edgy or you want classic and conservative, Eagle builds it both ways. Now, this thing has excellent window coverage. Unfortunately, the sunlight is just eating up the camera whenever I get near a window, so I did have to pull these shades down. But what's nice is you get to see they do a heck of a job functioning as something of a blackout shade here. Now, we've got opposing living room slides, and this is called an MLOK, Middle Living Outside Kitchen. It's a little bit different kind of concept because, you know, like a normal rear living room, like instead of having the sofa against the rear wall and then the kitchen somewhere in the middle, they flip-flopped it. But what's kind of cool here, guys, is now you've got this nice big wide open welcome space right when you walk in the door there. We've got wall-hugging dual cinema seating here with that handy little remote control armrest in the middle so you can kick your feet up and relax whenever you're ready. Eagle does a very good what I call dining desk that we'll see momentarily. It's, you know, because this is a couple's rig. So most of the time you have just a pair of couple's chairs, but you have a pair of fold-out guest chairs that you can pull out when need be as well. You also have way more than just an island. This is like an entertainment experience right here. It's you see that you do have cabinet storage below, and we'll open that up as we go. But you've got a wood top on this that matches your dining table. So if you do just want to sit here and visit, you want to sit here and be social, you want to use it for prep space, you want to use it for so many things. This gives you such a huge chunk of either countertop prep space or social seating arrangements that it's not even funny. You can have so many different little conversations going on all at the same time in here. So whether you're looking for a private couple's little getaway, or if you're looking for, you know, the big friends and family entertainment package, this one can bring it all to bear. But let's start over here with what I like to call, you know, destination dining desk. As mentioned, we have a pair of these fold-away guest chairs. They're decor matching. They sit the same height as the main chair, so no one's going to feel like they're sitting in a kiddie seat or anything. They actually have more padding on the back, which is kind of comfy. I sort of like those a little bit better, personally. You also have an extension leaf here to make some extra elbow and table room for guests. And then you have the handy little easy lift gas strut assisted flip top dining desk arrangement on here. So whether you're looking for just a little, evening mealtime sort of satisfaction, or you are looking for, some friends and family entertainment, this one has it. Now, we'll get back to that sink and those amazing windows in a minute. But one of the things I want to start zeroing in on in here is storage, because anytime you're in a rear kitchen, storage is a major part of the equation. Where do I even start? There's a lot. Okay, above this big 12 cubic foot gas electric travel-in fridge, which I think is, this is the correct fridge for this floor plan. This is not a floor plan I think an electric fridge is a good mix for the reason that this is located behind the axles, so it's going to get more shock, more jounce, more bounce. And that is something a residential refrigerator is not made for, but this one is. You'll notice though, Eagle's on point with the fact that they never waste an ounce of space, because every ounce counts. Now, you'll also find here in the kitchen, all of your drawers are soft close drawers, and you'll see that you have hidden hinge cabinetry throughout. Now, under this huge corner sink, you've got huge storage with space for just extra large wastebaskets. And this rear corner right here, this is something that until you see this RV in person, you can't really appreciate, because when you get up close, you don't appreciate it when you're standing, but when you get up close, you go, holy crap. Look at that, look at all the counter space, and look at that little shelf in the back, and oh, I like how they kind of did this. And then when you stand back here, and you get up to these windows, when you're standing at the sink, look at the views that you're treated to. I mean, if you have this thing parked at some kind of really scenic destination, you've got windows where they count. And that's the cool thing here. A lot of people are going to say, yeah, but there's no windows on the door side. They have windows on the door side where it matters. Because over here, well, the TV's there. That's the entertainment center. So you don't need a window there because you're watching the TV. But whether it's in the hallway, in the door, there's a full window even in the door that has a full privacy shade. We have visibility outside of the campsite. Meanwhile, back here though, instead of feeling like you're just sort of stuffed into a corner, you are treated to just some big expansive views. Now, a couple little neat details Jayco puts here is they fully trim out all their windows. And I love the little almost sort of like rope styling that they have on this right here. And another thing that does is it gives these pleated blackout shades something to really bite into. So those shades don't tend to lose their tension. You know, they tend to work well. Now back here, all solid surface countertops. I love that level exchange. I'm just a sucker for that. I love shape and character like that. You have bamboo sink cover cutting board covering one of the two stainless basins, and the other one has a nice little aluminum drying rack. Now right here around the corner, you've got a perfect little like coffee maker corner, and you've got dimmer switch lighting in all sorts of places on this RV. You have it, in the overhead lights back here. So if what you like to do is keep like a light dimmed down at night so that you can sort of see to get to the sink to grab a glass of water or something like that, you can do that here. And it even has a positional memory. But you also have an indirect light back here as well. And even that has a dimmer. I mean, they went so over the top with details. And how about this cool little pseudo barn beam accent feature right here? All of the shape and character in this, it is just so good looking. I love what they've done here. You also have controls for a power vent fan above us, but I'm at a bad angle to try to record that, so let me get twisted around here. Before I get too far along though, I don't know if I call it a island, a prep station, an entertainment, I don't know what I call this because it's so much more than just an island. But let's take a look at the storage cabinet space below this fixture right here, because you're going to see that they did not, like if you're looking for your big pots and pan storage, this is a full pass-through space right here, and it goes through to, you have doors on both sides for easy access. And again, I love all the little antiquing and burnishing they did on all the wood tones and everything in here. This is very sharp, very high class. So again, solid surface counters here through the kitchen. And take a look at that handy little feature. How about another easy reach appliance outlet right here in the kitchen area? Now, I got to get close to see it because it's dark on dark with a window nearby, but there you go. Flush mount stove with a tempered glass cover gives us some excellent prep space. And drawers to the floors, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get this cabinet door out of the way. You've got 5 additional drawers right here in the kitchen space. And again, soft close residential hardware on here. Very upscale, very classy features in these Eagles. I love the stainless appliance bundle too, kind of just breaking up that color monotony you could otherwise have. Now over here, also within the slide out, as if we haven't seen enough big cabinet storage, we haven't actually seen a pantry yet, and you have it here. But a couple things. First of all, motion sense lighting, and obviously very sensitive because I wasn't even inside of it yet. So as soon as you open the door, bang, clicks on. And adjustable shelving. So you can kind of flip around and convert this to any sort of little configuration you want to. And that's what's so cool about this. Like I said, guys, if what you're looking for like a campsite chef-friendly RV. If you're looking for guest-friendly entertainment. If you're an arts and crafts person and you need the space, it just does everything, and it has so much storage. Or if you're just looking for a beautiful RV for some couples getaway time, well, it'll do that too. I thought I'd give you one quick pass through the kitchen though, without everything all opened up and looking cluttered, because I don't want to shortchange this one. This has such a clean, polished, refined, very comfortable home feeling thing. I was thinking about it because there's something about this rear sink corner. It gets me. There's something about it that resonates with me, and I thought about it, and it reminds me a lot of my grandmother's house. And when I would go over there as a kid, and I grab a glass of water, and I go back, and she has windows and a sink arrangement just like this. So it's hitting me right in the feels, and it's taking me right back to my childhood with my grandmother. Maybe that's part of the reason I love this thing, because I love this model. I mean, I love this thing. This is awesome. Entertainment. Okay, let's get into that. So we've got this TV, big 4K TV, that swings out. I've got it tilted toward the dining arrangement a little bit, but most of the time, if you just have it flat mounted, it's going to be facing that wall-hugging cinema seat over there, those theater recliners, directly across from it on Boardwalk and Camper Park Place. And I think that's going to be your primary seat most of the time. However, again, in a very conversational fashion, you have that extra trifold hide-a-bed right over there next to it. And note the little detail too, like the way that Eagle includes that little mirror on that wall. They could have left that bare. You wouldn't have thought twice about it. But they gave it a feature, a fixture, and by giving it a mirror, it reflects more light and makes this thing look even bigger, even shinier, even better than it otherwise could have. Now, as long as we're over here looking at entertainment, little neat detail. Your overhead doors in this will always hold themselves open with nicer metal struts. Now, we've got a DVD Bluetooth stereo, but it does have HDMI inputs. It is a high-def capable system. So if you have those little streaming Amazon Fire, Roku, Chromecast sticks, it's very friendly for that. But another thing, it's not just HD capable, it's HD wired. And here's another one of these neat little Jayco advantages. They actually include an extra pre-wired HDMI cable for you with a power outlet up here that you probably can't see. There's a power outlet right there. So if you want to put a Blu-ray or satellite system or something, there's a perfect place to do it. And it's not that it's hard to run an HD cable. It's that you don't have to. You don't have to go fishing a cable through the cabinetry here. Jayco did it for you. Now, behind the TV, it is easy to get to those plugs, thankfully, and this is actually an easy release, it slots in place kind of TV mount, so no big deal there. Now, down below that, Bluetooth speaker system, soundbar, that's the word I'm looking for, with an electric space heating fireplace. It's a 5120 BTU. By the way, the size of that thing doesn't really affect the heating of it. Like a lot of models, a lot of big fifth wheels, some Eagles in fact will use a really long, wide fireplace. It has exactly the same heat output as this one, so there's no difference there. It's just a matter of aesthetics and how it looks. Now, we already talked about how we have a power vent fan above the kitchen area here with a wall controller, but you also do have a residential ceiling fan up top to help cycle that airflow around. Now, keep in mind, the main cabin lights, the accent lights here, the accent lights above the dinette, and both of the light systems above the sink are all individually dimmer switched. You have so much control over the lighting of this thing, it's not even funny. Another thing we haven't talked about, because you can't see it, is the air conditioner. And if you can't see the square, then you won't hear the air. The air conditioner is actually located directly above that kitchen light fixture. But you don't see it because it's a whisper ducted system. So the air intakes are these little grids on each side of it. What's neat about that is by having a wisp ducted air system, it allowed them to put the ceiling light fixture right above this, whatever we want to call this countertop space here, that's just really cool and does everything. So it's just another thing. And also, by being wisp ducted, it's going to be a little more entertainment and guest friendly when the air kicks on. Speaking of which, I've been yakking on and on and on and on about how it's a great couples camper, but it's such an awesome entertainer's floor plan. If you like to have people over and have a good time, you know, watch a movie, have a drink or two, just kick back, cut loose, relax. Well, sometimes the party goes a little too hard, and you don't want your friends driving home and being unsafe, or maybe you have a grandkid, or whatever. You can have guests over on this one. Now, what's kind of cool here, you notice that this theater seat can still fully recline even with that hide-a-bed open. So this is great for either just a midday nap, or you can get over here and you could actually put a little kid on this. Little kid will sleep through the night on that theater seat. Never care. My daughter's 8. She loves Grandpa's theater seat way more than Grandpa's hide-a-bed in his Montana fifth wheel. But over here, this is adult friendly. This is adult size. You can get 2 adults on there for a weekend if you need to, or just 1 adult and be just fine, or a couple kids, or whatever. You know, you can do any sort of little arrangement you want here. And notice how, going back to the storage topic, they, again, did not waste an opportunity for excellent cabinet space. Now, something I haven't talked about, but it's very common in this class and category, I just don't want to overlook it, is that all the cabinetry here is pocket screwed with hardwood cabinet door frames. I've already mentioned the hidden hinges and everything else. All of your seat side windows will open for airflow. Unfortunately, again, I just had to pull those shades for video purposes, camera friendliness. But you'll get excellent light, excellent airflow, or again, just like this, you can pull everything shut for full privacy whenever you wanted it. Here's another neat thing. Remember next to the sink I called it a little coffee maker corner? Well, the last thing you want when you have, the hide-a-bed open is to get cut off from your coffee in the morning. So this giant, we'll say, mega island plus deluxe galore here, you can always get around it. You can always just walk around the other side of it, but you don't have to. The hide-a-bed never, quote, cuts off the camper. It's always, everything is always easily, readily available, accessible, whatever you want, whenever you want. You've got it all the time in the Eagle 319. From here, I think we've covered the living area. Let's move forward. As we do, we're going to pass our command center and a couple important little detail items. First is this thing. What is this thing? It's a mount or a dock for a portable Bluetooth speaker you can get from Furrion. It's not included with the RV. What they're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, is they are basically giving manufacturers the mount, which does have a dual USB port on here, so it's no different than a 2-plug USB hub. It gives you the option of adding an extra Bluetooth speaker if you choose to. The thing is, they're basically giving this thing away for free, the mount, because the speaker is very expensive, and that's where I think they're making their money off this. Now, your main command center is right here, and you have a physical switch for your awning lights outside, for your, interior slides, awnings, all that, water heater stuff. That's all normal. But then you have the LCI One Control system over here. One Control is kind of cool because it can do some neat things. Basically, like if you want to run your awning, your lighting, your slides, you can do that from here too. But you can also sync your phone to this. And whatever this can do here, it can do on your phone. The other thing is this can control the auto leveling system of the RV. And that is something that only One Control can do. You could be in your vehicle with your phone, and you could raise and lower the nose of this fifth wheel to be able to get it hitched up without having to have somebody else outside. That is a neat little thing that you can do here that you can't do on other systems. Now again, this RV was pre-ordered with some specialized features from the previous owners. One of those is the Eagle Dry Camp Package, and that is a generator prep. And we'll talk about that more outside, but it also increases the propane capacity of this RV from 60 to 80 pounds, which is neat. Now, they do an awesome bathroom in here. And whether you get the modern farmhouse or American tradition decor, the bathroom will always look like this. Because it's a small room, they wanted a lighter color pattern. I've got the lights off on purpose for a very good reason. Because they have multiple different lighting systems going on in this Eagle bathroom. First is this little blue LED nightlight. It'll make that little mother of pearl shower just glow at night so you can see in here. The other thing is you have more indirect lighting with, wrong switch, a backlit morning mirror. So if you're like me and you wake up grumpy, and maybe it's early morning, it's late at night, you don't want a super bright light disrupting you and you don't need it. but of course you do have a super bright white light whenever you want it. Now we've got a big walk-in shower in here. There is a corner seat on the right-hand side. Easy step in, and note that there are no like floor vents right in front of the shower, right in front of the toilet or anything like that, which is porcelain, by the way. Now, as deep as the shower is, that's how big that linen cabinet will be for you. And it's not just one giant empty hole. They actually gave you multiple shelves so that you don't have to have a stacked, you know, tower of towels that's ready to fall on you at a moment's notice. Or you can kind of separate stuff and have like some soaps and body washes, some towels, some beach towels, or whatever you want. And hey, handy little towel drying rack. And this is a true pocket privacy door too. What's neat is it actually locks in place, so it, you know, it won't just jiggle open on you. And there you go. So now it's in travel lock mode, just that simple and easy. Now in the kitchen, we had solid surface counters. In the other areas of the RV though, like including this bathroom, you'll have a pressed edge membrane countertop. And what I kind of like here is the color key, where that really kind of matches the shower enclosure very nicely. But you can see that tile backsplash right there, just really jazzing it up another step. Everything they do here just has a really nice, very detailed look, feel, and finish. Now, up here in the bedroom, this kind of gives you a little bit of a sneak preview of sort of what the American tradition decor looks like. This is roughly what the wood tones would be in there. But a really quick important note I want to give you is that there's a second air conditioner you can option into in an Eagle fifth wheel. What's neat though, guys, normally in this class, if you get a second air, it's a 13,500 BTU, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I think that's probably plenty. But Eagle's not about doing enough. Eagle's about doing more. That's everything we've talked about is Eagle going to the next level with every single thing we've looked at. So why stop here? So this is a second 15,000 BTU air conditioner. So you've got a total centralized 30,000 BTU air system in this RV. And that is awesome. Now, another important note, remember that this one could be different from the one that we have in stock, and probably will be in this regard. The folks that bought this, they really just wanted a queen bed. They wanted the extra room to be able to walk around the bed, and the queen bed certainly does do that. Plus, when you get the queen bed in an Eagle, you maintain these really nice side stands over here as well. So Eagle does one of the best queen beds in a big fifth wheel that you can find out there. 60 by 80 true residential queen. You do have the option of going to a 70 by 80 king bed though. You will get rid of those side stands, and it will use up every side-to-side inch of the slide box. Now there are dual element blue and white LED reading lamps above that. I forgot that I had to kill my power box between shoots here, so those things turn off when you lose power. I just never turned them back on. Up front here, we've got wall-to-wall storage, a big 8-foot section of storage capacity. And you'll also find storage below the bed, which is easy lift, just with a couple handy little gas struts. Just sort of flip it and forget it. And this makes the perfect place for those little hideaway guest chairs, and then some. This is actually pretty full. What's nice here is Eagle gives you a full underbed storage, because they don't put the slide motor right under the bed. Some brands do, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. It just means that, you know, there's different benefits to different things, and there's no ever best. There's just better in different ways. Plywood bed decking is kind of an indicator. That's a recurring theme. You're not going to find OSB beaver puke particle board in really most any Jayco construction, but Eagles especially. This has plywood decked roofing, you know, beds, flooring, 5/8 tongue groove plywood flooring. I mean, they are very good about higher grade materials. But then again, they also have twice the full RV warranty as pretty much anybody else in this class and category. Everybody else has a 1-year warranty, maybe with a 3-year structural, but that's not a full RV warranty. Now this is set and sized, prepped, and ready for a combo washer dryer if you are so inclined. Directly across from the bed, you have the perfect place to add some bedroom entertainment, again, if you are so inclined. And they put a larger, taller dresser here in these Eagles. You see the 4 extra drawers on top. You know, even this middle drawer right there, they give you more space, more storage for more clothes, more things. Once again, this is a series of RV that is built just like a big Pinnacle, like a big North Point, and there are plenty of full-timers in Eagle RVs today. Now, as I have mentioned several times, admittedly, this is a customer ordered unit. So once again, remember, the feature we're about to look at might not be on the one in stock. Traditionally in the Midwest, we don't see a lot of customers request the Eagle dry camping package. But I know that some areas in the South and the West, it's a really big deal. People camp differently in different parts of the country. And that's why I said, we're happy to build anything for you within the manufacturer's allowances. If you don't like the one that we have in stock, how it's built, call us. So, dry camping package starts by generator prepping the RV. You can see the heat shielding's in place, all the wiring is run, so it's just a simple plug and play, get up and go kind of operation. The other thing that it does is increase our propane capacity by 20%. We go from dual 30-pound tanks to dual 40-pound tanks. So it gives you that extra ability to, if you go with a propane generator, to have more reserve there. That's actually an interesting note. You know, a Montana fifth wheel, you can get generator prepped, but it doesn't actually increase the propane capacity to offset the potential use of the generator. Eagle does. But as we're going to discuss in great detail, Eagle's really smart like that. Eagle's just a smart brand in general. Now, I had to conserve power, so I had to kill my power box, but there's really awesome LED light fixtures right on the front of this. You've got these awesome orange glowing beams that run down the nose, but during the day you probably wouldn't see them much anyway. Below that nose cap, though, you might spy that MORryde pin box. This has what Eagle likes to call their 4-star handling package. You've got a MORryde shock dampening pin box and suspension 1-2 punch combo to give you a better, smoother ride. The idea is that you want getting there to be comfortable so that you don't have to rely on just being there to be comfortable. You got to enjoy kind of both aspects of it. Now, the other aspects of that, this does have Dexter axles and Goodyear endurance tires. We'll talk about when we get over there in just a moment. First, though, I want to take a quick look at the fully enclosed docking center. Your holding tanks, gate valves, of course, everything. They're all enclosed, privatized, protected, behind lock and key, away from the weather, behind an insulated baggage door. You have a full outside shower above. You have a simple side mount solar prep in the top here, but that's not your only solar option. Eagles are actually prepped for roof mount solar that we'll see in a little bit. The box over here, that is a box for the SantaCon system. If you're not familiar with that, basically this RV has like a garbage disposal for a kitchen sink built into the whole waste system. It's a macerator, and it will basically chew up and power exhaust solid mass. It'll empty your tanks twice as fast. You'll spend half as much time doing your whole black tank arrangement. The other thing is it has a built-in hose, handle, everything, so that you don't have to necessarily have extra hoses or anything. It's all kind of built in, and there is a bypass for it also. All Eagles are pre-prepped for this, so if an Eagle that we have in stock doesn't have SantaCon and you want it, it can be added. We've done it before. It's easy. Down here, 16-inch Goodyear radials. That's one of those 4-star handling items. So bigger tires and even adjustable axle hangers. So if you do want this thing to ride a little bit higher, you got a giant dually, for instance. Eagles are always going to ride just fine on them. Frameless windows standard on big Eagles. It's another one of those kind of upscale look and feel, classy, jazzy sort of items that they put on these, but of course your slide side windows will always open for airflow. You know, naturally we're backup camera prepped and all that, but down on the bottom you've got a little accessory hitch so that if you do want to add a little bike rack, now this is generator prepped up front, so you don't need a small Jenny tray in the back or anything, but if you want to add some little accessories, you can do so without voiding your warranty. And I had a really neat opportunity as this one rolled into the lot. While doing an Indiana Jones run to make sure I wasn't going to be killed by a rolling boulder, I got a chance to actually take a look at the reverse travel portion of the J-Smart lighting system. Now, I had a somewhat unique opportunity here. As this Eagle's rolling in, I thought, hey, let me get some footage of this thing rolling straight at me, which sounds dangerous and stupid, because it is, but there's also a reason I'm doing this. You see the bright lights in the tail lights as well as the extra marker light above the rear camera. That's part of the J-Smart lighting package. That stands for signals, markers, and reverse travel. What that means is that your clearance and marker lights blink with your turn signals, and you have those extra bright lights when you back up to you know, help you obviously be able to see at night and improve safety. It's also very nice if you're backing up during the day because other drivers know what you're doing. Now, J-Smart is a feature found only on Jayco RVs. A lot of other brands have run into a roadblock where if somebody's really interested in the extra highway safety that you get from that, well, you can only get it on a Jayco, so other brands have lost some sales because of it. So what some of them have done, because it's easy, is they've added reverse travel lighting. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy they're doing it. I'm happy that safety-conscious items are making their way more into the towing aspect of this business. That's something that I feel is overdue. But the blinking of the side clearance and marker lights, that is going to be a Jayco exclusive feature. Now, we're about to take a look at the outside kitchen on this, but one thing I do want to note is that right down here on the rear bumper, there is a gas grill quick connect. So you actually have 2 different outside cooking sources. So maybe you don't want to cook right under the awning, or, you know, with the Capital Grill. Maybe you just want to use that like a prep space. You don't have to. Or you can bring a separate grill and have multiple different cooking things going on all at the same time. Over here on the campsite, we've got a party going on down here. So let's celebrate and have a good time. There's a song like that. Anyway, dual power awnings giving us maximum patio coverage. They both have an auto rain dump feature, LED lighting at the base. They can be easily tilted and locked down manually there to give you, you know, a rainy day runoff sort of situation. And it kind of overcomes one of the hiccups of having a nice big slide on the door side of the RV like this, and that is that normally it would eat into your awning area. Obviously now that's not the case. You're actually regaining more, not just regaining loss, but gaining more overall in the push. The outside kitchen TV here, this is an optional piece of equipment that the owners of this RV specified to have included on theirs. What's kind of neat is it does have an articulating swing arm, so it can really kind of face anywhere you want in your campsite. And you do see that there is storage behind it. Now, if the one that we have in stock doesn't have this TV, it can always be added. A TV can always be added somewhere, guys. That stuff's simple. So you got storage back here, but up top you've also got a dual set of lights. You've got a normal bright white light setup so that you can see what you're doing, and you've also got just a cool little blue LED, sort of like night light, mood light thing. Now over here we have the barley popinator to help us with those pesky bottles of barley pop, you know, that don't twist open anyway. On the left we've got Dad's medicine cabinet to keep the barley pop cold on hand. I guess I heard you could put bottles of water in that? I don't know. That's weird, right? Anyway, the outside kitchenette also has galvanized rolled steel countertops. That's fancy talk for treated metal counters. The reason they do that is twofold. One, it's a higher grade material. Splash water all over it all day, it don't care. It's like a honey badger, it don't care. Now, above that, we've got appliance outlets. You've got another one of those Bluetooth speaker mounts, which, frankly, is just going to be a USB hub for 99% of people, and a screaming hot Capital Grill. And this is the other reason that you have galvanized counters here, because they actually found there was a recall, wooden counters around that thing that could burn so hot, it was actually potentially a fire hazard. I don't know of anyone that lost an RV because of it, but it was one of those theoretical problems that Jayco said, no sweat, we're going to use a better material anyway, get rid of it. Here's the best-in-class feature, 16-inch Goodyear radials. And these things are big, large, and in charge, sweet-looking, really kind of brutal-looking aluminum wheels. They got sort of like a metal kind of looking feel to them. Little Jayco emblazoned hubcaps are a nice touch. But these are best-in-class for a few reasons. They're American-sourced, and they're rated for 87 miles an hour at 80 PSI. That is excellent. Now, you've got the same suspension system, the MORryde suspension system, just like you have the same MORryde pin box here that you have on technically Big Brother, North Point, and Pinnacle fifth wheels. But here you have it at a far more 3/4 ton friendly size versus something that you really should be in a 1 ton or maybe a dually on. The bigger entry handle we see here, this is another thing that you very commonly find more within the Pinnacle series. And the way that it drops down here means you've got more physical space to be able to grab onto at any time. And check this out, when you get the MORryde step in an Eagle, you're also getting the nicer 0G stable step so that it won't fall on your head, it won't fall on your dog, it won't fall, period, unless you physically, manually want it to. Now there's other really smart things down here, like the little outside step light on an Eagle. It's located down here where you can actually see it. It's actually just down below here. Well, what's cool about that is the switch is in an intelligent location, because if you need step lighting, you need it to get in and out of the camper. So instead of leaving the step light switch inside the RV, which means you have to go up in the dark to turn the steps on just to see the steps that you needed to see anyway, this makes it simpler and smarter. I hope you're following me here. Anyway, makes sense in my head. It makes sense if you don't think about it. Outside speakers, and it seems funny that they're located right next to each other, but if you're listening to something that's broadcast or playing in stereo and the speakers are 10 feet apart from one another, you always miss half the song. Also, they're mounted down in the skirt, which means they don't have to drill a 4-inch hole in your sidewall. That's a bonus. And they're down here at low-level picnic height so that you're not blowing away the neighbors with your, you know, all kinds of crazy loud rock and roll kids music I know all you folks listen to. Anyway, huge basement. This thing, it's technically, I guess you'd call it like a mid-profile. It is, I think, a true full-profile fifth wheel if I looked at the measurements. But it's got the basement of a massive full-timer RV. And that's what's kind of, there's plenty of people that go full-timing in an Eagle. Construction-wise, this is built identically to a North Point or a Pinnacle in terms of materials and methods. It's just physically a little bit smaller. Now, again, smart features. You've got motion lighting on both sides of the basement, not just this side, but that side as well. And there's outlets on both sides. You know why? Because you use both sides, not just one or the other. So many brands will give you a light here because people, when you're shopping, they tend to purchase the campsite of the RV, but when you get there, you use both sides of it. Well, Eagle treats both sides equally. Outside TV hookups, of course. Now, oh God, there's so much ugly misinformation about R values out there in this business. It frustrates me how bad it is. But you need to understand, people can say anything they want. They can say they have some R, a billion roof, whatever. It doesn't matter. A promise doesn't guarantee performance, ladies and gentlemen. Really let that sink in. Jayco has some of the very best, if not the very best, proven, tested performance data in hot and cold camp situations. They individually test every single model that they make for functionality in hot, cold climate situations, and there's a bunch of little details they do different to get you there. A lot of brands will do things like say, oh, we use this astrofoil insulation in the roof and the nose and the belly, and that's true, most of them do it, but they use a single layer, what I call, it looks like hot dog paper. Jayco uses a double layer bubble foil stuff, and it's just a better functioning item. This is not insulation is the thing though, it's heat reflection. And it sounds like I'm splitting hairs here, but it's an important thing because it does not have R values. Technically, even the double-sided foil here has an R value of 1 because it's got a tiny pocket of air in it. The single-layer stuff doesn't actually have an R value. It's a heat reflector. But what's cool, you see how the entire bed and bath deck has its own layer of this to have a thermal barrier between the bedroom and the undercarriage. This cavity has its own heating. The underbelly has its own separated cavity with forced air heating, residential insulation, and another layer of that stuff right there. So you've got cavity, cavity, cavity. You have compartmentalized effect here, which is one of the best ways to eliminate heat and cold loss. That same material there you'll find all the way under the gooseneck of the bedroom. You'll find it above the hitch box, which is something that a lot of RV manufacturers miss. And of course you find it behind the nose cap, up around the roof, in the slide floors. You find it all over the place. And maybe that's why Jayco doesn't have to advertise the highest R values out there to have the best performance data out there, because promises do not guarantee performance, ladies and gentlemen. That is just something that you really need to wrap your heads around. All right, up top now. Some good things to talk about. Some of it you can actually see, some of it you can't. Remember again, the one that we're looking at here in this video has added the second air conditioner. It's a low profile 15,000 BTU air. I stress low profile because whether you add a second air or not, it does not change the overall exterior height of the camper because the air conditioner is not actually taller than that antenna on the right side. So let's start with the things you can see. A lot of sealant. Very heavy-handed on their sealants at Jayco, which is nice. You've got a 360 siphon cap on your black tank here. What that's doing, guys, it's kind of like an upside-down airplane wing. And what it's doing is it's actually pulling any sort of odor buildup, bad air, out of your black tank and exhausting it so that you don't have a backflow of odors from your black tank into the camper. That's a difference you can smell, ladies and gentlemen. Next to that, this is our bathroom vent cap right here. And what's kind of cool is it's rainproof. So you don't have to open it, close it, whatever. Turn the fan on when you want it, anytime. No sweat. You never have to worry about, oop, crap, I left it up in midair or whatever. Also, all Eagles, and even little brother Eagle HT, all the way actually down through a Jayco Whitehawk, have roof mount solar prep. So if you do choose to add some solar panels, no sweat. This thing is all prepped and ready for it. Now, stuff you can't see. And this is the stuff that frankly is more important, because this is the stuff that determines long-term ownership, quality of life, and value. It's construction items. And this is the boring part of the tour nobody ever really likes. But if you're a serious buyer, this is probably the part that you're going to appreciate the most. Jayco's roof systems are built a little different. It's one of the reasons that Jayco's roofs Jayco's roofs are part of the reason the RV weighs more than a competitive product. They use thicker, heavier roof trusses, bigger, thicker nail plates, and more of them to keep this held up together. They're also using 3/8 plywood roof decking versus OSB roof decking that's found in most other products. Very few exceptions to that, with the open ranges that we have back here, those big wide body fifth wheels being one of the very few exceptions to that rule. what this means in English is that Jayco's roof is rated for more weight. It's heavier constructed. There's nothing wrong with the roof structures on almost any fifth wheel. They're going to be walkable. That's fine. But Jayco's have a heavier weight rating. So if you're going to be, if this thing might be stored where it could receive a lot of snow load, or frankly, you just want something that's built to be the last one you ever want to own, that's the kind of construction that you should be looking at here and that you get here. The longevity, being your first, your last, your only, your ever fifth wheel is kind of what these are built for. And like I said, this is built, physically constructed exactly the same as Big Brother, North Point, or Pinnacle fifth wheels, which those have a full-time RVing warranty. This has the same kind of construction. You know, it's impressive what they're doing. This really has the feature set of a North Point in something the size of a Cougar. That's who Eagle is. They are a high value product. They are strong. I've always said that every RV is the best for a different reason, but these guys are best for a lot of them. Pound for pound, this is one of the best things you can find in the fifth wheel market. Again, if you're looking for like that big full timing feature set, if you like that heavy duty construction, but you're looking to be more towable and something that weighs 16,000 pounds kind of scares you, that's where an Eagle comes in, being a little more 3/4 ton friendly, you know? So whether it's hitching pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between, we do it all at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.